Declan Rice is available. Now, Arsenal are in the mix. Why can't Spurs be in the mix? That's the sort of level of player they need to be trying to acquire. That's what they should be doing right now, but I just don't think that'll happen. In terms of management, I think we've had 14 different managers in 22 years under Daniel Levy. That's too many. Too many have taken over, too much of a turnover. I don't think anybody's really, you get a chance and if things go wrong, then you get fired. Ryan Mason's had 2 goes. I don't think he's going to be long term. I think he needs to cut his teeth somewhere at a lower level. There's no reason why he can't become a good manager, but he's not right. Nagelsmann's an option. Brendan Rodgers has had a mention.
Well, Pochettino's been heavily linked with Chelsea. You said the type of football that Spurs played under Pochettino was the most exciting and dynamic football that they've played in a long time. So do you mean a Pochettino-like manager or Pochettino?
Pochettino himself. I mean, the Spurs fans absolutely love him. The way he played football, I think he got to two Champions League finals. Him or Brendan Rodgers. I think Brendan Rodgers could bring stability to the club, the way he plays the game.
But you think as much as the manager's going to change the style? You want to see teams playing on the front foot?
Yeah, I don't like the 5 at the back, the 3, whatever you want, 3-5-2. I like the 4-3-3 or 4-4-2, whatever you want to call it. I think that's the Tottenham we've seen over the years. This system here, the way they play. Now, Ryan has to play this system because of the personnel that they have. Graeme said it earlier on about Liverpool getting a midfield player. If you ask the question, who does Tottenham need? Midfielder, centre backs. If Harry goes in the summer, they have to get another striker. So, Graeme, the recruitment, they need to be. This summer is a big summer for them.
You got to manage it though first. Yeah, as a manager, you got to get someone in place, Graeme. I mean, who would you go for if you was Daniel Levy right now?
Idea. No,
You fancy it, Graeme?
No, I think there's, we seem to be in love with foreign coaches. Some work out, some don't. I mean, they've tried 2 of the biggest names in world football. If you had asked me, would Conte make it work, I would have said most definitely yes.
Me too.
I don't know how he works as an individual, but I know their take on football. The Italians haven't worked there and played there. I don't know who you get. I mean, I'd love them. I'd love it to be an English person. A British
So I was going to say, having outed yourself as pro-English for the first time in your life, which
British manager?
Which British manager do you think would be suitable for
Can I just say something as well? I mean, because it's the football management. Graham's done it. Is so precarious right now. So if you were, as an example, Graham Potter was still at Brighton doing the job that he was doing, there's no doubt that Tottenham would be in for him. But because he's gone to Chelsea and it obviously didn't work out, and it's a very difficult job, he's damaged. But does that make him a bad manager? Of course it doesn't, because what you remember is what they did at the end. It's a bit like Pochettino. We forget what he did in that spell when Spurs were fantastic to watch. Brilliant football team full of exciting players. And then you remember the end because it was obviously so disappointing. It's damaging for you. And that's the same really with Graham Potter. But has he become a bad manager overnight? Of course he hasn't. But Spurs can't go for him because of what happened and how bad it was for him at Chelsea, which is so unfair in a lot of ways.
Well, that's football. That's the price on the ticket. Your damaged goods. You mentioned Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers could have his name attached to a relegation if Leicester were to go down. Is that the fit for Spurs? The Spurs supporters would be up in arms about that. It is a precarious job. You take it, and you could be out of a job within 6 months, even before. And I'm not sure who to go for, but
I think
it'll be an interesting watch. But I come back to it. It's your players. The most. I know people who say the most important person at a football club would be a manager. I think historically that would be the case because he would be responsible for absolutely everything, the buying, the selling, and who's there and who isn't there. I think that's moved on now. I think the most important people at a football club are the decision makers who do the recruitment. That's not the manager.
He's got a few managers right in his time, and certainly when he got Pochettino from Southampton, it was a few eyebrows raised, wasn't quite right. There's no doubt that De Zerbi, I think, at Brighton would be one that would be very desirable for him.
He inherited a great situation.
But he's also taken to. But what I'm trying to say, Graeme, if you go through the history of what he would try and do with the success of Pochettino, that would be someone Daniel Levy would like. Obviously, Brighton fans, that's the last thing that they want to hear. I mean, they've had some good, especially 2008 to 12. That was a wonderful spell. But they've had. It's an amazing group. It's an eclectic bunch, I would call that, because they've tried the last two. you know, have been Mourinho and Conte, that serial winners. Like, how can they not win a trophy? Because as soon as Jose leaves, he goes to Roma and he wins a trophy. But for some reason at this club, managers have found it incredibly difficult, apart from one day Ramos in 2008, and he didn't last long after that.
7 foreign managers out of 11, isn't it?
Does that make a difference?
Well, I'm just. It would be nice if we had British managers. I don't think the guys coming in are reinventing the game in any way. I come back to it, players.